So the rail strike in Canada is definitely not over. The Canadian Labour Minister put his foot down, and both sides have basically called his bluff. Basically the Canadian equivalent of when Kamala Harris warned Russia not to invade Ukraine. We're also going to cover the update on what's going on with the St. Lawrence Seaway. We also have the Telegram founder and CEO arrested. Will that shut down Telegram? And we got a whole bunch of other updates coming from you guys from all over. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something that you'd like to share, please use the word update somewhere in your comment on this video or on any video on this channel. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts. If you're in Canada, the United States, and you want to get into gold, silver, or platinum, there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to get more information about what you can do about that. I do apologize that we did preempt this update this morning due to the airstrikes and the missile attacks in Israel this morning. Wanted to get that out to you immediately. That has happened. If you haven't caught the news on that, I'm sure information has developed further since releasing that video. But be aware that big stuff has happened in Israel and may continue to happen as these videos actually drop. But I need to be at church. So let's talk about what's going on with the employer lockout of Canadian National Railroad. So this was unprecedented that the Canadian National Railroad didn't actually go into strike because they preempted the strike by locking the employees out. And that's what Canadian Pacific Kansas City did as well. So when the labor minister basically said everyone needs to go back to work without actually having the authority to do that, they Canadian National said, okay, we'll let them back. But then on the other side, Canadian Pacific Kansas City just basically kind of decided to ignore the government. And they just, they made some noises like they're going to start working towards reopening. But Canadian National Railroad started getting trains back on the rails Saturday. And whereas Canadian Pacific Kansas City didn't. They say they still haven't gotten any trains moving again. So this is from Maya the Happy. On the Canadian rail strike, there was a previous court case that made this government mandate null and void. So the minister can't legally force them back to work. They are officially on strike as of this coming Monday. Unless they bring Parliament back. Supposedly there isn't anything legally the minister can do to force them back without the actions of Parliament. But they don't think they can get the votes from Parliament, and so that's why they were kind of just bluffing their way through this. So what has transpired is Canadian National, the union there, even though the company has ended the lockout, the union is going to go on strike on Monday. So the lockout came to an end. Now the union is going on strike. Now, Canadian Pacific Kansas City, the other company, is making noise like they're going to stop the lockout at some point, but they're assessing their legal options. Whatever that means. So they basically just kind of made some noises and then just kind of kept the lockout going. So we'll see if that results in any kind of action there. But let's just say railroads in Canada and all the Canadian trains are not moving. Okay, so hazardous material, they need to secure the hazardous material. Rail cars days and days before a strike or something like that. So as soon as they started trying to move cars, they heard about the strike on Monday, so they had to just immediately put all the hazardous material cars back up in their storage sites again. So that's not happening. and very few cars probably going to move this weekend before the strike starts. And then what happens, I don't know. But just to kind of keep you aware of what's going on there. And not just rail cars in Canada, but the St. Lawrence Seaway also being impacted. So this is from MN. The Dutch cargo ship that was stuck in the St. Lawrence Seaway, I know, hard to pronounce, isn't it? And hard to spell, has been moved aside, and the seaway is now open again. The ship is non-functional, though, and I don't know what will be going on next with that. 48 hours stuck and $100 million in losses because of the blockage. I'm from Quebec, Canada, where this happened. Let's keep our fingers crossed so that the trains get going again ASAP. As that's not settled yet, as we just discussed, there still talks about strikes. Keep prepping everyone. And I thought it was there, but somebody was talking about too that basically these ships need to get into the Great Lakes so they can get over to the ports to start loading up grain. These ships need to be where they need to be soon so they can get the grain out of the ports to make room for the new harvests that will be coming in shortly. So this is big, big time that these ships need to be moving through, and them having a big stockpile of ships waiting to get through this choke point is not good. So it looks like that seems to be resolved. We'll hopefully be seeing the ships moving properly shortly. Pavel Durov, I may have butchered that, sorry, founder and CEO of Telegram, was arrested on a layover, or potentially is flying into France, but probably flying through France, because I think he knew that he had a warrant out for his arrest. He has been charged with basically everything that anyone has ever posted to Telegram. So if anyone's ever used Telegram for anything nefarious inside the European Union, France is charging him with all of that because he didn't censor everybody, right? First, it was TikTok that got banned in the United States. We're still waiting for that to finally go all the way through. But then Telegram looks like it's under attack right now. Will this shut down the Telegram site? Quite possibly. And what's next then? Rumble? Twitter? All the free speech platforms seem to be under attack for sure. So Pavel Durov, be aware that that is a major issue out there. Angicam says, went to Chili's for dinner in Boynton Beach, Florida, with the wife. We were asked what sides we wanted. We both said broccoli. The server said there is no broccoli because it was recalled a few months ago, and they have not had any broccoli since for a few months. So either that's just not accurate. A few months to get broccoli, that seemed a bit strange. But that's just one more data point to add to the mix, just my 2 cents. So I don't think there's a shortage of broccoli out there, but with what's going on behind the scenes and with restaurants through their ordering platforms and their suppliers, I wouldn't be too surprised that they are having issues getting broccoli or other random things due to the just the general supply chain chaos out there. Chelly says, just got back from Walmart in White Lake, Michigan. No 20-pound bags of white rice. And the store was just weird. Yeah, I mean, political parties are apparently weird now, and so are Walmarts. Like it looked like it was full, but like you've been saying, lots of junk food, but hardly any selection of good canned goods. Produce was stocked well, eggs very low except for the expensive ones. Only 2 20-pound bags of pinto beans. Meats and cheese okay, dairy okay, but real expensive for Wally World. Yep, that's Walmart for you today. It's not cheap anymore, is it? Because everything in it has gotten more expensive. I was just checking something yesterday. I remember I was looking for something and I hadn't bought it for a while, and I saw the price and I was just like, that can't be right. That can't be what that costs anymore. And apparently it is what it costs more. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was looking at before. Wiki says, my husband normally grows green beans really well, but this summer we haven't picked even one batch yet and have seen few blossoms. His acupuncturist also said yesterday that normally they would have been eating green beans for a while now, but they have barely seen any blossoms and no beans. Is anyone else having issues with the green beans? And we've reported on that before, a whole bunch of reports over the past several months, people having a lot of problems with green beans all across the United States and other crops of different sorts. People's gardens just aren't growing. And why is that? Is it stuff up there coming down? Is it something else? I don't know. But what I do know is that a lot of people are reporting problems with their gardens this year. And this is widespread across the United States, not just one geography, not just one area. Bunny Man says government added over $70 billion to national debt last night, $250 billion in the past 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what the national debt is at any given time because the federal government updates in a sporadic fashion, and they send out treasury bills at kind of intervals and stuff like that. So it's a little complicated. I know we have the debt clock out there. If you watch that, they probably do make adjustments as they get more information from the federal government. That's not a government website. That is a private entity that is trying to communicate what the federal government is doing. So, but at this point, $70 billion more dollars. I mean, does anyone actually really think that we're going to pay back this debt? I don't think anyone really is under the illusion anymore. So really it just means more interest, I guess. But we're at the point where any more debt just basically is irrelevant almost. And I don't mean that as in like it's a good thing or it's okay. It just means everything is so bad with the debt level that a little bit more just doesn't make it much worse. It just is as bad as it possibly could be. And it takes us closer to the edge when this whole thing finally comes to a head. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I'm getting a little pessimistic about that. So I basically think they're going to have to either jack up income taxes, seize lots of people's IRAs, 401ks, or basically they're going to have to just inflate away. And I think that's probably the most realistic thing is they're just going to use inflation to make the debt basically worth zero. But it makes all of our dollars worth zero as well. VW says Walmart in southeast New Mexico. Some things better, except butter. Eggs were thin and cream cheese was very low. Lots of 1 pound rolls of ground beef, but 3 pound, 5 pound, and 10 pounds were scarce. Sam says no citrus at Sam's Club in Las Vegas. No lemons or grapefruit. They offered limes instead, but I know they are small and they were hard as a rock. Sherry says, my insurance company will not answer their phone. It is always busy. This is health insurance. For 2 weeks, radiology has tried to get approval for a CT scan. They can't reach them, and neither can I. They also did not approve the antibiotics the ER prescribed. I checked with the pharmacy 3 times, then paid out of pocket. So be careful with your insurance companies and be aware of what people are reporting. Check out your Better Business Bureau and see what people are reporting and disputing with their health insurance. Holly says, North Dakota, we are a whole milk family. It has a very distinct and creamy taste. We grabbed 2 gallons, as I always do, and they both taste like 2%. My son said, Mom, why does the milk taste watered down? He was right. Now, that's possibly just a mistake, a one-off mistake where they literally put 2% milk in a 1 in a whole milk bottle. It's possible. Or it could be the beginning of something more. We've seen all the eggs getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We may start seeing the whole milk. Doesn't mean what it used to. Lewayne says, Eastern Oregon, very rural mountain area. Oregon eggs must be cage-free now, so price is up to $5 a dozen, even during the summer. Milk is always about $5 a gallon, which is crazy, crazy. Tim says, in the middle of Colorado, usually produce is plentiful and relatively cheap. Dang, bell peppers are $2.30 each, and all are wilted. Not a great sign this time of year. Love Mama says, here in the DeLand, Florida area, these following items I can't find in either Walmart, Dollar General, or Dollar Tree. Cornstarch, baking soda, baking powder, marshmallows, the small ones, large size vinegar, ice, which is the flavored sparkling water, orange Powerade. These items I have been looking for in the past 3 trips out in the course of 2 weeks. Can't find those. Missy says, middle of Tennessee here. I have a small business and I use the postal service daily. My business has slowed down considerably like so many others. I mailed a package to Washington State on Tuesday evening using their cheapest ground service. It was expected to arrive on Saturday. It arrived Thursday morning. That is less than 48 hours. Most would think that was very great service, but using the Postal Service daily, I know that is very odd. I think it indicates a significant slowdown in people shipping things. So they must just had some room on a plane and they just threw it on there. I know my local post office went from always being busy to no lines at all. This is from Kelly. Hey Steve, hubby went to Walmart here in southeastern South Carolina, the Low Country, for rice. The 20-pound bag that was $12 2 weeks ago is now $19. Things are getting crazy. Disney Mom, Walmart in Arkansas, the 36-count large eggs on August was $7.86. Now, 6 days later, the same 36 count is now $10.20. $7.86 up to $10.20 in just 6 days. All right, friends, please do keep your reports coming in. We'll keep you updated as much as we possibly can. If you want to get some more information about Genesis Gold and what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there. Just fill out the form and they'll get to you. Or you can find their phone number down in the description down below. Make sure you mention this channel so they waive your setup fees. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.